What's up, guys? Welcome to That's Dope. You already know it's your girl Zeta Lisa. It's Thursday, so it's That's Dope time, and I have a very special guest. What's
It's
up,
me.
Jazz?
Hello.
Yay! Sorry we're late, guys. We had some technical difficulties, as
We
we
always
always
have
do.
technical difficulties.
Yo, technical difficulties here is real. I think actually even one of our guests experienced it. Notorious Moms. It's like it's real when you have a whole production behind you, folks.
No, Notorious Mom heard a whole bunch of commotion because I was just slamming shit. She was falling.
Yo, and I saw like a mom was like, don't even not even hearing that. Like, yo, that's just Jasmine. There's gonna be 1,000 things that drop on the floor, a
All
thousand
day.
things that don't work, but then later on, it was something that she did that's the reason why it's not working.
Like, don't plug it in.
Yo, that shit was the best one. But I am drinking. Jasmine promised me if she came on That's Dope tonight, she was gonna have a sip of some type of liqueur.
Yes.
So, what are you drinking tonight, Jazz?
Honestly, I'm drinking something raspberry flavored that my brother left for me before he moved. I think it's vodka, but it's very yummy and I'm actually
Oh.
enjoying it because I don't work tomorrow. So I'm good.
Oh, and I like that you having a little coffee cup.
You said that all I had to do was have a drink, okay? You didn't say anything about the aesthetics.
Yo, oh my god, I can't make this shit up, guys.
But yo, honestly, how many moms out there, this is how you drink? This is how
That
you
is
have
so
happy
true.
hour in your house.
Because it don't matter the cup, it don't matter where you at. Happy hour is wherever that makes you happy with the people you are happiest with.
Thank you. And it just so happens that I don't have any glass cups like that because I've dropped them all. So my husband won't let me buy more.
Facts. I wouldn't either. So, guys, I think today was a perfect episode to do a little Q&A. And I thought, how would it be dope if you guys did a Q&A where we have questions about myself and then Jazz, I can ask Jasmine's questions that I think people want to know about her. So Jasmine will potentially ask questions that people may want to know about me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the same thing for her. And guys, the caveat here is that we have not told each other the questions.
No.
So where did you get my questions from?
I got a little bit from Google. I got a little bit from my mind.
She said I got a little bit from Google. You see,
You
she's
know what's
honest.
so I'm honest. You know what's so funny? That the planner in me, the anxiety in me, I called her up like 2 hours ago and I was like, all right, so how are we gonna do this? And she gently was like, I think it will work best if we don't know what the questions are. And I said, ah shit.
Welcome to everybody in the comments. And yes, if you guys want to ask questions, please ask questions and we will shoot these on here real time to either myself or Jazz. Jazz, really quickly,
Yes.
for everybody who doesn't know, and if
Mm-hmm.
you don't watch Tuesday Talks with Jazz, you should absolutely watch it. You had a interview yesterday that was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Um, Tell us a little bit about it.
So actually, I got hit up by Ursula from Your Badass Mindset Coach. That's her IG handle, and she had caught a couple of my videos, I guess, speaking about mental health, and so she wanted me to go onto her platform, onto her live, and join her in a discussion about mental health in the Latin community, especially because she's Mexican. She suffered from an eating disorder. I suffer from depression and anxiety. And so we decided to have a conversation revolving around the shame when your family discovers or is aware that you have mental health. And we also discuss our individual shame, accepting the fact that we have, mental health issues. So it was really dope because she was super honest and it just felt very natural. Um, Definitely, you guys need to check it out. It was a great conversation.
It was a um guys, I really want to say I just gotta stop really quickly and say, I appreciate you to my friend because you are absolutely the advocate for all things, all voices that do not have a voice for themselves. So thank you for being dope. And that's why I brought you on That's Dope tonight, because I was truly inspired by your conversation last night. The honesty, your candidness, you still keeping in New York.
I mean, you can't really take that out. That is part of your DNA when you're a New Yorker.
Yo, it was everything. I so loved it. It was a great episode. If you guys not have not checked that out, you're a badass mindset coach on IG. You can watch the full IG video there,
And
where she interviewed
actually,
Jazz.
I'm actually going to upload it as well onto my IG tomorrow. So you can definitely go to her page first and catch it. And if not, you can come on to Jazz Speaks Life on IG as well, to check out the full episode. Like I said, it was a really honest and raw conversation. One of
Was.
many I hope to have with her and other people in our IG community who also struggle with mental health. I think it's important that we keep that conversation going.
It was an amazing conversation, girl. So I just wanted to shout you out and say
Thank you.
how dope that conversation was. But that is what inspired me, guys, to do the Q&A, because I think there's so many questions that people want to ask Jazz, and maybe you can throw me in the mix and see if you guys want to know anything about me too. So I thought it would be a cute episode for anybody who doesn't really know myself or know Jazz or know some things about us to really get to know us in this That's Dope episode. So Jazz,
Okay.
I'm going to start first
Okay.
because it's my show.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna start first.
Should I be scared? Should I be scared?
You should be very scared.
Okay.
So you should take a sip. So first, we're gonna take a sip to first salute. Salud. You know you're supposed to do this first, girl. All right. Then take a sip.
Oh.
There you go.
Again,
you gotta,
she tells me to drink, and now she's still telling me. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, let's take a sip. Let's get this party started. It is officially cocktail hour for the mamas. So we're gonna start the first question off with an open, honest question that I want you to be completely honest. Is what annoys you most about people?
What
inquiring minds want to know?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. It's a lot of things that annoy me about people. Oh, what annoys me?
What is the biggest thing that annoys you about people?
People who are fake. And when I say that, I mean like you can tell a mile away that whatever it is that they're putting out is fake. Even the way they come into a room and they greet you is fake. Like I hate that type of fake energy because I pick up energy very quickly. Yes. And it makes me very, very uncomfortable because I don't know how to handle you, right? Because my first inclination is to want to connect with someone. So when I feel that fake energy, I don't know how to be in, but not all the way in, right? So I will just have to completely disconnect. So it annoys me because sometimes I could be in a group of people and you can literally see me split into two different personalities because I don't feel that comfortable with the energy that the other one, somebody in the group might be giving me. So they will get a completely different Jasmine. So my friends know me, I can be very extroverted, but at times I can also be introverted. And a lot of the times if that happens, it's because somebody's energy in the room, I'm not feeling it. And I hate when people think that they're doing a good job at being fake.
Oh my God. Only on That's Dope would you hear some real shit. So people doing, and let's indulge in that a little bit more. People doing a good job on being fake.
No, people thinking that they're doing a good job at being.
Can you give me an example of something maybe that someone may do?
Yeah.
I'm taking a drink.
I walk into a room and I get this. Oh my God. Hi, how you doing? Oh my God, you're so amazing. I missed you so much. Oh my God, we have to catch up. How are your kids? How's your husband? How's work? You don't even call me. I don't know anything about you. We barely speak. Why do you all of a sudden want to know so intensely all this information about me? That's fake.
Facts.
I think that's just more of a show, more of like you want to be seen, you want to be like in the room, you want me to see you. For what reason? I don't know why. And I don't do well with that because it's not genuine. I don't do well with energy that's not genuine
I
at
can see that.
all. At all. I can pick it up, and sometimes my friends will be like looking at me like, why am I being standoffish, or why am I not connecting with this person because that person is amazing, and it's just because it just doesn't align. Like I can't. And I don't know how to explain it, but New Yorkers, we could smell bullshit. We could call bullshit out a mile away.
Preach.
So
Girl, we haven't even, that was the first question.
no, because I know that there's a lot of times you probably look at, because I know you've noticed, like,
Yeah, of course.
why is she so amazingly open and connected and wanting to empower this side, but then we walk into a room and then there's these other people and I'm not the same. And it's because
Yeah.
honestly, a very long time ago, I got burnt a few times because even though I saw and felt the fakeness, I still ignored my instincts. And I still try to have those relationships and I got burnt. So as uncomfortable as it may be sometimes for me to push away from people, I rather do that now than get burnt. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna dive into that um a little bit later because I definitely think that that is something that I have kind of experienced with you being your friend. And we are going to
Mm-hmm.
get into that because we still have a whole bunch to talk about, guys. So we will come back to that. Because yes, I have noticed that. But I don't think it's
I'm
a bad
sure.
thing. I think it's honestly, I think it's an amazing thing because I think you have the ability to unbiasedly um see things for what it is, if that makes sense. Because I feel like you have a lot of people, when people are in it and that fake energy is around them, you're kind of in
Mm-hmm.
it. Some people have tunnel vision and they can't see outside of that. So, or maybe they're ignoring it. But the fact that you can sense that and already know that you need to kind of keep that away, I think
It's
it's,
hard though sometimes, Z, because sometimes people look at that as like you being like a Debbie Downer or you being negative or you automatically expecting the worst. So it's like sometimes it's a gift and sometimes it could be a curse. And also too, like when you can't love about somebody and then you don't get good vibes about somebody they're excited about, whether it be romantic or friendship, you don't always want to be the bearer of bad news.
right. Yeah.
So sometimes you have that internal struggle, like, should I just let it rock? Because I don't want to say something that might affect their view on that person if they're excited about them. What
Yeah.
happens if I say something and it turns out to be okay? And now I look like I was just trying to get involved. But then if I see my friend get hurt because I didn't say anything, then I'm conflicted with that as well. So
Yeah. I mean, you are definitely the friend that's always honest. Even when it's hardest. So shout out to you for doing that because I know that's not easy. I know
no.
there's been a couple of times where you've had to be like, Zeta, you're crazy. Like legit. And
Yeah.
we'll jump more into that. So Jazz, what is your question for me?
What is my first question for you? Okay, that was a good one that you hit me with. So I'm just like, what do you think? I got one. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about you when they first meet you?
Oh my God. Um, the biggest misconception that people have about me, um, that I'm not approachable. That for me is the biggest thing because I have a resting bitch face that I can't hide. And we were just talking about that recently. What is a resting bitch face? And I feel like on exterior I can come off a little rough for the average person, but I'm actually as nice as can be. I love people, I love
She's a big ass
socializing,
teddy bear.
I love to laugh, I love to joke. So I think that's the biggest misconception that people have about me when they see me on the exterior.
I'm gonna chime in on that. I've seen it happen. And I can say my very first impression was the same thing almost,
Right.
because her personality is so big and she doesn't apologize for it. And it's just that. It's just her personality is just big. But she's literally a big softie, guys. She has a really, really, really big heart. I'm putting out her business in these streets.
You see, I'm getting
Yeah,
nervous.
you get it. You sweating. I see you sweating.
Oh, Jesus.
She and as direct and honest as she is, what people really don't know about Z is that Z is always in constant turmoil about having
Ooh.
to be so direct and honest all the
Ooh.
damn time. People may think it comes so natural to her, and in a way it does, but she struggles with always having to be the one that is expected to be so direct and honest. So
Yeah.
that goes to show you how of a good heart she has, that she knows she has the capability of just putting it out there, but she tries to find a way to gently roll it out.
I be feeling like Olivia Pope, yo. Strategically. Because yeah, I guess the biggest thing is I definitely have a love for people. I love family, I love friends, and for me it's really hard to hurt somebody's feelings that I care about. So,
Which is so
all
crazy
right.
because people would think that you would be the one to be wanting to hurt people's feelings the quickest because your personality is just so bright, but in
Yep,
reality she really struggles with that, guys, a lot.
I do. She is absolutely correct, which brings me to my
Oh no.
question for you, which is what emotion do you feel most when you are around me? I told you I was going to get down to the nitty-gritty tonight.
Who helped you get these questions? I'm like, I bitch, I didn't help you write those questions. So who helped you? um, wow. It depends on what
Mm,
type of day. Nah. Honestly, there's a lot of emotions that can be felt in one day when you are around Zeta. And I don't say that in any way in a bad way. Um, but the biggest emotion that I feel is support. I feel safe and I feel supported. I feel like I gotta ride or die. Like I feel like no matter what, she's gonna tell me how it is, and she's gonna have my back regardless. There's just a feeling of just like I have a real good friend, a real like a sister. It's crazy. I feel like I know you um forever, even though our friendship, actually, people might be surprised, it's not that long.
right.
And she also drives me fucking crazy.
I do.
I want to fight her a lot of the times during the day and then hug her in the next minute and then fight her again.
That is so
um
true.
but she also keeps me on my toes and is always exciting around her. And the reason I say that is because she's a dreamer. She's always dreaming. She's always thinking of these huge elaborate Olivia Pope plans to take over the world, right? And to me, that's exciting because I'm more of a play it safe type of girl, more of a let's plan things out. So it's cool that okay, my friend can dream it up and I can go behind her with a notepad
And
and
organize
make
the shit out of it.
so it's like there's not even enough words to explain um the emotions I feel when I'm around her because there's just so many. And that's just the way it is when you really care about somebody. It's up and down, and sometimes always up and sometimes always down. But I feel secure enough in my relationship with her that no matter what, I know that we're going to be okay on the other side. Because, like I said, our relationship, it hasn't been that long in length, but we've been through a lot of things. And we're very honest with each other.
Yeah, and I think that was one of our hardest things in our friendship was we're both strong women. So whenever we got into something, it was like turmoil because I am very strong minded. I have a very huge personality. I am very stubborn at times. So it's very hard to like
Who, you? No, not
no,
you.
it's true. I mean, but we've spoke about this. We actually
Hmm.
have a question in the chat here that I think I saw. Question for both of y'all. How often do you want to strangle me? LOL, Elise. Um, let me think, Elise.
We didn't get back
Definitely
to you.
times we're gonna get back to you on that, but definitely times when it's time to pick food because she never knows what she wants to eat ever. And I am the one that has to make the decision. So I would say those that is an important time when I want to strangle you. All right. So your question for me now.
Actually, I like that question. I'm gonna throw that right back at you.
Ooh, girl, you stealing my questions here?
Hell yeah! I want to know who helped you. I'm dead ass because usually we do these things together. So I'm like, who helped her? Because it wasn't me.
Ooh. That is an awesome question because
You wrote it.
a lot because I wrote it, but not only because I wrote it, but because I think I experience a lot of emotions around you. And some of the very first emotions that I've ever um felt around you was vulnerability. And for me, I felt like that was something that I only did to people that I have known for a very, very long time. Because I know early on that being vulnerable around um certain people, especially in Hispanic households, they teach you you can't trust everybody. Not everybody can see you cry.
Mm-hmm.
So, being raised in that mindset, I became very strong minded and I only cried and had those vulnerable moments around people that I trusted. And I felt like with you, it had gotten to a place where I knew um I can trust you instantly because you're the person who will be honest with every situation, of course at your own pace, of course
Mm-hmm.
when when you're learning people, but I think around you the biggest emotion that anybody around you would feel is one, you are completely genuine and honest. You are faithful, you are ride or die, and you will absolutely do anything for anybody you care about. Anything for anybody you care about and you love, you will do anything, you will make it work. You will explain even the most uncomfortable things that a lot of people sweep underneath the rug because people don't like having uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that a lot of the emotions that I experience around you is that I never get the notion that you will ever stab me in my back, or that, we may argue, we may have our disagreements because it's life.
Yeah.
We're not always going to agree on the same things, like the same people.
Ain't that the truth?
Get the same vibe, but at the end of the day you always respect my decision, I respect your
Mm-hmm.
decision, and then we meet halfway. So I think a lot of the emotions that I feel around you is secure, like I said, ride or die,
Mm-hmm.
always honest, transparent, and real. Those are some of the emotions
You
that
know
I
what's so
feel.
crazy? That first of all, you made me sound real good, so thank you. Um, what's
I'm
so
legit sweating.
crazy is that for Zeta having such a difficult time being vulnerable,
Yep.
she's been the number one supporter in my life of being vulnerable. She's the one who's been advocating and cheering me on with going forward and showing to everyone that okay, this is what I do. Vulnerability is my thing, because for a long time people made it seem like that was a bad thing. So for you being so uncomfortable for so long with vulnerability. It's just so interesting to me that you've been my biggest supporter in me being vulnerable.
Yeah, girl, because I saw the potential right away. You was having these conversations with me forever before they even came online. And it was like the first time to hear somebody who looks like me, sounds like me, talks like me, have such a grown woman perspective, so like experienced, so dope, so still down to earth, no bias, no judging. I was like, wow, I can actually feel comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times you opened up the door for uncomfortable for vulnerable conversations. Like you started with yourself. A lot of people, a lot of friends don't start with themselves, they start with you. They want to know about you, right? But
But that's
you,
not fair.
but
That's not fair.
I've met a lot of friends like that who like they don't give you a lot about themselves, but they
Mm-hmm.
want to hear a lot about you because
Mm-hmm.
they're very private when it comes to their self. So I think for you, when you started having conversations, by the way, that I have never heard from a grown ass woman. Like you were the first woman that actually was down to earth, not judgmental, not walking around like your shit don't stink, to be like, yeah, let's talk about I could be transparent about sex, what I've experienced with
Mm-hmm.
sex. And it's like I had never in my adult life had a candid conversation with someone about sex unless it was like something that we were joking and laughing about. Like, so for me, it was like, wow, she is vulnerable enough to put herself out there and be proud enough to be like, wow, I've experienced this. And if this can help you, that's dope because I know that,
Yeah.
this helped me. So maybe it can help you. And I'm like, so for me, that right there already showed me the type of person you are. Because, like I said, a lot of people will want to know you first. Oh, so what happened with you? They're not trying to tell you about themselves.
That's not how you build trust, though. You can't
Right.
expect someone to do something that you wouldn't do. And
Right.
trust, somebody has to take the first step. So if I see that someone is trying to have a conversation and they're kind of going around in circles or just don't know how to act straight up, I'm gonna offer a piece. If I can pick that up, I'll offer, okay, that this is what's happening, because there's no shame in us sharing stories and experiences. That's how
Right.
we we learn from one another. Like, we all women, we all do the same thing, we all go through the same stuff. Like, it is what it is. And so regardless whether you share it or not, you still going through the same stuff. And even if you might not engage in the conversation, and even if you might not share in the conversation that we're having, I'm pretty sure you're taking notes and applying the stuff in the conversation to the
Ooh.
shit that happens when you get home.
She just said y'all taking notes, folks.
It's
Drop
true.
some bombs in this bitch.
Everybody goes through the same thing.
She's so real. Yo, take another sip. My sip is gone, girl. Unless somebody comes
No.
in here and saves me, it's a wrap. And we only halfway through. All right, whose question is it now?
Yours.
Ooh, I like
Who's
this
your
one.
ghostwriter? Who's your ghostwriter?
Don't worry about it. You see, you try to throw my business out here in the streets, all right? Don't worry about it. My ghostwriter is Zeta Kiss, aka myself. All right, so for my next question, guys, this is a dope question for Jasmine because this is a question I really want to know. What makes you feel unstoppable?
What makes me feel unstoppable?
Go ahead, girl.
What makes me feel unstoppable? Well, one is my faith. Because through my faith, I believe and I know anything is possible. So how can you
Mm.
be unstoppable if you know you got somebody that's gonna walk you through the impossible? That's first and foremost. Um, the confidence that I am building,
Ooh.
accepting myself and my flaws, and realizing that there is power in my imperfection, because through them there were struggles, and through struggles I realized I was strong. So with strength you can do anything. um I'm eager, I am ready to just go out there and embrace the world in a way that I never did before, and I have my family and my friends to do it with. And just being okay with myself and realizing that I'm enough. um I'm excited to share with people that I love and care about, and even everyone out there, my quirks and the fact that there's different sides to my personality. And I'm ready to live, because for so long I just existed,
Mm.
and now I have the drive to really live and experience and feel and all these things. So with that, it just motivates me every day to just keep pushing forward, because for so long, because of everything I was going through, I just existed.
Mm.
And now I'm living.
Ooh. Girl, you
I know
dropping
this wasn't,
gems on
I'm
that's dope.
sorry. I know it's not supposed to be that type of show, but it just comes out. My bad. But it's true.
No,
Even
that's
doing
dope,
this,
girl.
even doing this is like, oh, this is so amazing. Like, the fact that it's during this damn time that we're going through, I don't want to say the words because they might
Put
fucking
us
do
in
something to
jail
the
too.
put us in jail. But the fact that regardless, like, still being able to like connect and hang out with my girl, and then but hang out with everybody else out there who's watching, and just like, it's just, you're still living. You just have to adapt to a different way of living.
Mm. That was an amazing answer. I don't think I have a rebuttal for that. Guys, write this shit in the notes. Zeta don't have a rebuttal
That's a
for that
first.
one. That is a first. She's dropping gems on that's dope, guys. All right, Jazz, what is your question for me?
Okay. What do you fear the most?
Ooh.
What do you fear the most? And I asked this question because it's gonna take her to be very open and honest and vulnerable.
Ooh, girl, I don't think these people are ready for this. I don't even think I'm ready for this. Um,
Sean,
in
get her a drink, Sean, in the blue room.
the blue room. He might hear it, he might not. He might have tuned off already. I think what I am most scared about is losing the people that I love. And I shared on That's Dope previously that I nearly lost my mother. So I really do not take relationships, bonds, anything for granted. I am that person who I feel like I am going to live life to the fullest. I'm fully invested in that. I agree with what you just said. I think for the longest time, I can agree with you. I existed too, hiding my personality, hiding who I was because of my weight, because I wasn't happy with the way that I looked, that I was embarrassed. So I hid myself for many years, being uncomfortable, being depressed, and just not being happy with myself because I wasn't living in my true divine purpose, like I was talking about on That's Dope previously. So I think for me, I would say losing the people that I love and also just losing myself, because there's going to be times in life where things are up, things are amazing, and then you're going to go through times when shit isn't perfect. You may have lost somebody you cared about. Dynamics are going to change, family dynamics may change, you may lose people. So it's like I just want to live every moment like it's my last, because I know that all of this stuff, this is our legacy, this is what we leave behind, this is what my kids are going to be able to watch one day when I'm no longer here, to help them go through an emotion. So I think
or
it's
or
dope
make
that,
fun of you.
or be like, yo, my mother was crazy as all hell. Why was she coming on these shows talking all this? But I embrace it. I think that um I hope that my journey empowers my kids to kind of follow their path and follow what it is that they want to do. So I want to say my deepest fear, or the thing I'm most afraid of, is losing the people that I love. That's
That's a good one.
definitely,
That's
yeah.
that's something that everybody struggles with, especially, what's so crazy, that fear actually arises a lot, not when things are bad, but when things are good.
Very
Usually when
true.
you have like a good wave of just things being like, oh wow, this is like what I've always wanted. That's usually when those fears of like fear of losing someone or something that somehow is going to change that dynamic starts to creep up,
Because you feel not worthy.
or you feel it's too good to be true.
Same type of sentiment. I shouldn't have this. This
Mm-hmm.
isn't for me. I'm too happy right now. Something has to go wrong. So, or maybe a part of your life that right, maybe something that your hobby is something in your life that's excelling, that's making you happy, but maybe there's other parts of your life that you're not addressing and it's not making you happy. So I think a lot of times we feel that sentiment a lot of times when things are good, because we feel not worthy. We feel
Mm-hmm.
like not us. So, which leads me to your next question,
Oh Lord.
which is, if you can do anything for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh. If I could do anything for the rest of my life, literally, it would be helping young girls, young moms, teenage moms, kind of navigate the next step in their life. Because I
Mm,
was a teen parent, and like I tell you guys all the time, I didn't really know where to go for resources. And then you add all the other issues that I had. I didn't know where to turn. Nothing was really accessible. And if I did find something, the person or people in that place to go to didn't look or sound like me. And
mm,
so I would love to just be able to be in a position where I can surround myself around women, girls who just are in need of guidance, who are looking for purpose, and just be there to like inspire them, not only with my words, but also be able to provide some type of resource or program or some way for them to kind of go on to the next step of whatever it is that they want to do. Like, I could do that forever. Like, I think that's just where, like, that's just where I would be the happiest. If I could somehow do that, I would be content, because it would be me fulfilling my purpose and maybe even being able to provide a living for my family as well. But
mm.
yeah, I would just love to just be able to do that.
Oh, that's so dope. I love that. And you actually just mentioned that last week. No, yesterday at your
Mm-hmm.
interview, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you said that was the first moment that it actually came out of your heart.
That it came out, yeah, because it's so crazy, because like, a lot of the times, like, we go on Instagram, people be like, oh, people do podcasts because they just want to be famous, or people want to do podcasts because, but for me, like, it was just an opportunity to kind of speak my story out and be able to, I guess, find a way to do what it is that was in my heart, like, was placed in my heart yesterday. I didn't know what it is that I wanted to do, and now I know now. And that's just that I want to be able to do what I'm doing in a more philanthropy, what is it, like, in a more, like, like, in a, what's that called, like, in a charity type of way, like a
Don't ask me because
foundation.
I'm a fuck that word up, girl.
Like,
Philanthropy.
I want to be able to take it to a place where it's like just not my words, like I will actually be able to provide a service to these women, that
Mm.
is like, okay, my words will inspire you to go to my foundation, and then my foundation will provide you the resources to actually put that into action.
Oh, that's gonna. I could see that coming. I
Thank
could
you,
see that
Elise.
coming down.
Philanthropic. Philanthropic. I gotta do what they do with Haley does in school. Philanthropic. Thanks.
I will fuck that word up right now. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try, girl. I know. I
My
think that's
turn.
dope. Yep, your turn.
All right. What is something about you that you feel makes you not a good friend?
Hmm. I definitely think what makes me not a good friend is that I can't not tell you how I feel. And what I mean by that is, like, every relationship that you have, every friendship that you have, there's different people at different levels in friendships, right? And for example, like, if you have a friend who may be a little bit younger than you, you're going to have different conversations with that friend than you would with a friend who's older than you, right? Priorities are different, responsibilities are different. So friends come at different levels. And I've learned that because for a very long time, I was the friend that was on a different level than all my other friends.
You-
A lot of my friends were a lot younger, no kids, no responsibilities, pick up and leave at any given time. I was married at the age of 22 and I had my daughter at the age of 22. So I've learned very quickly that people and friends are going to be at different levels. So I think that a lot of times, a lot of the things that I was doing to my younger friends, like being like, listen, I can't go out with you tonight, or maybe not picking up the phone as much because I'm dealing with the baby, um, to me was me doing grown people shit.
mhm.
And my friends at the time didn't understand that. So I think what made me a bad friend in that instance was that I wasn't able to hold my tongue for my emotions. A lot of times my feelings will just be shown on my face so much that I can't hide but tell you how I feel. No, that's
We
dead
can't play
ass.
poker. We cannot play poker on the same team.
So I think for me a lot of times with my friends I'm going to be very blunt. I'm going to be very,
Mhm.
but I'd rather that, right? And that's why you say like, oh, Zeta a lot of times has to have uncomfortable conversations with people and blah blah blah. I'd rather that though than fakeness.
Mhm.
I'd rather that though than walking around like nothing that like there's no problems. Because I think for me, the only way in a relationship that shit is gonna work, that shit is gonna be good, is if you're open with all of your feelings, all of your emotions, the good, bad, and the ugly.
It's so crazy that you should say that that is something that you feel makes you a bad friend, because to me, I think that's what makes you a great friend, because there's no guessing. Like you never have to know where like where I know I don't ever have to know where I stand with you. I know when I annoy you. I know when I piss you off. I know when I've done something to make you happy or you appreciate something I do. And that's something that you do with everybody, not just your friends, but like I've seen you do it with just like everyone around you. There's no hiding where you at with that person. And I think that's what makes you a good friend, because a lot of people unfortunately have fake friendships where you don't, you think it's really deeper than what it is, or you can be having a whole silent fight and not even realize it, because one person is acting like everything's fine but they're being passive aggressive. So
Ooh.
like with you, it's just like it is what it. Oh well, I'll call her later. I annoyed her, or it's before 8 o'clock. Her ass didn't have her coffee. So it's like
That's a
it's
real thing, by the way. I saw a YouTube video on it. People actually have these things, so it's not just me. Sean
no,
actually
but
shared with me he had a friend who was not mourning.
I think when it becomes a problem, honestly, with people with you, I think it's when that person is insecure with themselves, right? Because I say that because let's say if you do come out a little too harsh, if that
Mm,
person is not secure within themselves to say, listen, I understand, Z, you're upset, but I don't appreciate the way that you're talking to me right now.
mm-hmm.
Um, that's a dumb issue, not a you issue.
Mm,
Because if they're offended by it but they don't say nothing to you, and they continue to allow you to do it, how the hell are you supposed to know that what you're doing is wrong?
mm-hmm.
Right? So i
And
i i
I
think it's the
agree.
way people can handle. Yeah.
I mean I also think that with that situation is who I am naturally as a person um can put me in that situation a lot of times because I'm a person who is a natural born leader. Like I like to take charge. I like to kind of that's just who I am. And naturally there's times where I don't even want that title. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want that. But then because it's just what everyone kind of expects, I fall into that role. And a lot of times it can be very frustrating. It can be very frustrating to have a lot of people solely look to you for answers, and not only just look to you for answers, look to you for emotional support, physical support, whatever. It can be very, it's a huge weight to kind of carry by yourself. So a lot of times my emotions are come a lot from frustration, because it's difficult to tell someone, hey, listen, or I'm still learning how to tell someone, hey, listen, I need space. Hey, listen, I need a moment. Because for me, I've just learned to deal with it for so many years. Like, you just deal with it, you
Accept
hold
it.
on to it, you bite your tongue, and you keep it moving. It's just been within these couple of years, I want to say, that I've been truly understanding my emotions, understanding how I can affect someone else, how my words can affect someone else. And I mean, like I said, these are all things that you kind of learn. And like I said, every friendship is different. And that's what goes back to that, because the type of friendship that I'm going to have with you would be different than the type of friendship that I have with Elise. That is different than the type of friendship that I have with my cousin Nancy, because we're all interconnected in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, so it you have to try to find a healthy balance, right? And that's what I mean with transparency. Like, I've learned now, and what I'm still continuing to learn, is that I need to set my boundaries with people.
Yeah.
I need to tell people when I need a break or when I need help, because that's my biggest frustration. My biggest frustration is I really do not like asking people for help.
And how the hell we supposed to know we got to help you, right? We had that conversation.
Yo, but that's a real thing for Latina women. Let's really put it
Yep.
in perspective. Not just Latina women, any women.
Women, any woman.
It is a big hurdle for us to ask somebody for help, because that is us saying that we can't do something, that we incapable. So that right there can make you feel as if it makes me feel weak. So that weakness, and when someone is not kind of taking initiative or not doing it, makes me think that person doesn't authentically want to do it. So if that person doesn't authentically want to do it, I don't want to force that person to do it. So a lot of times I don't like asking for help. I'd rather just do it on my own. And it's my biggest blessing. It's my biggest curse. Because you're right. How are people going to know that I need help if I don't vocalize that?
It's hard. It's hard when you're automatically in that position. And it's also hard when you're just a natural born leader. It's just in you to just want to take charge. So it's like people around you sometimes get confused, because they're like, but you automatically take charge, and that's what you do. And even if you say someone else is in charge, you still giving orders or that are strong suggestions because you feel that someone is not leading the right way. I deal with that same shit all the time. I'd be like, oh man, they're doing it so wrong. I'm going to suggest this strongly.
But you know what? I'd rather people take a leap of faith and allow me to be like, I think it should go this way, because I think it's still an effort. It's still help. It's still so. Again, I am growing. I've grown.
We all grow.
I'm not perfect. I have my good, my bad, my ugly, but I think it's dope that I'm going through this now in my life, building relationships, learning what I'm doing now. So, because I still got, I'm young, so I still I still got the rest of my 30s, girl. Let me stop.
Why you making it seem like I don't just bleh.
I'm joking, guys. I am so joking.
Box. At least you hear this? You hear this?
No, I ain't checking the box yet.
Oh my gosh.
All right. My next question for you is, what is more important? Status, money, or power?
That's very
money, power, respect is what I need in line. Money, power,
what you said, money, status, or what?
Money, status, or power?
Or none of the above?
No, there was no none of the above in this question, girl. I knew you was gonna try to opt for that. You gotta pick one. The genie in the bottle said you have to pick one.
Money, power, or status? Wow, this is hard. I feel like okay. I would say power if it's power to be able to have allow change to happen. That type of power. Like if I had the ability to really put things into motion that I feel or that as a group of people we decide it would be better if things are handled that way. And I mean like in a world type of way to make things better and more peaceful. I mean, that is ideally. I mean,
Right.
money in real life, money would be great because it would allow me to have the financial freedom to be able to do other things that I want to do in my life that I feel will be based more on joy and happiness as opposed to making a living. And
Mm-hmm.
it would allow me the means to be able to help whoever it is that I want to help. I mean, you could have status, but really have no power and money. So to me, out of all of those, be the least one I would want to have because I don't really like people. I'm not a look at me type of person.
Right.
So to me, status is just that. You want to be known for something, but if that something is not going to allow me to have the power to make change or do something I feel is productive and beneficial, then why do I want that notoriety for? I hope I
Mm-hmm.
answered that question because it was very like it was really hard.
I think that was a dope. I think that was a dope answer because I didn't even think about that. Absolutely. You can have status and have
Hmm.
no power and have no money. So for me, I would definitely go the money route because with money comes power. So even if it's silent power, right?
Yeah,
Silent
yeah.
power. I can say, you know what? Here's $10 million. Jazz, go start a foundation for women. And women, single mothers, helping them kind of get to their next step in life.
Mm,
I can do that. I don't necessarily need the power, but I need the money
right. Or the status.
or the status. But I would definitely take money for
I
sure.
know you would take money.
I need lots of it. So all right, what that is quite we are almost there, guys. This is Jasmine question number 6, and then we
Hmm.
have a total of 7 questions for each other. So, what is your question for me?
Why you have a problem with people knowing how absolutely funny and silly you are?
That is a question she is not supposed to ask on here, guys. I'm over here changing.
That's my
This is
mechanical
a
laugh.
that is a question that she knows I have been struggling with forever. All right, we're gonna put this
Because
in perspective.
guys, you don't know how freaking funny and silly that she is. Like she's I mean, all the mamas, you don't realize how funny we are, but Zayda is very funny. She tries to hide it the most. But go ahead, I'll let you answer.
She asked me the question, guys. She answering me she's answering the question for me. You see the shit? And then go ahead, I'm gonna let you answer.
Go ahead.
Um, you just made me think of the real. This is how reels fuck up your life. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead now.
Go ahead.
Anywho, okay. So I struggle with my humor, guys, because I think my humor is only for my friends around me. It is because I think that other people do not think I'm funny, that only my friends around me understand my humor. So I do my humor for the people that are closest to me because I feel like they understand my crazy. They understand my funny. So yes, a lot of times there's some shit that I will not do because I'm New York and I'm too cool for that shit. You know what I mean? But Jasmine has
Wait
a
a
problem with that.
minute.
She's like,
I'm
be
New York
silly.
too. Be silly.
I am silly
No,
in a cool
you.
way.
Oh, bleh, that's what.
What the fuck was that? What was
That's
that?
me just there. Like she has such a problem with like the like being like she calls corny. That's how you know that's our age. Like you could tell our
Facts.
age. Like I'll send her stuff. Like okay, you
I'm like,
gotta
I'm
do
not
this
doing.
because this. She'd be like, I'm not doing it because because she's Zeta. She's Zeta. So
Hate you.
Zeta. can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, you mad funny. Like, you so silly and funny. Like, you guys don't understand. She's a big cornball, just like the rest of us.
But the problem here is this. Y'all understand my funny. I don't think others would understand my funny. I don't know, guys. The type of funny they want me to be, I don't know if I could be that funny.
What you
because it's some corny shit. Did she just, guys, you see, this is Jasmine. She done got off the live, done hit something and messed it all up. This is what happens at Mama's Cocktail Hour. But you guys are absolutely calling me out. I don't know what happened to Jazz, but I will talk about this very quickly. It is definitely something for me to show my funny side. I agree. I have to work on it, but it's really something that I share with my friends often, and I have been giving you guys a little bit more Zeta. Jasmine's jumping back on.
What happened?
I don't know, girl.
You didn't like what I had to say?
I just was like, Jasmine jumped off, so I am answering the question.
Oh my!
I thought it was your poom poom setup over there. I thought some shit disconnected, something.
First of all, I'm not even gonna argue with you making fun of my setup, because if you see my setup right now, it is ridiculous because my dog ate a lot of my equipment. But what I was saying was that your humor is just you. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a part of you. Like, you're like she's mad funny. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think I'm gonna try to do it, but I'm gonna really try to do a better job at showing my humor. I think I have been a little bit, but
look how uncomfortable she's getting. She's mad uncomfortable right now.
Because I was like, bitch, there's a conversation for meetings.
You the one that wanted to have the Q&A. There we go.
All right, guys. You know what? I do struggle with my funny because, you know, there's a type of comedian, you know, that when you funny, you embody. Like, I feel like for me, you embody like a certain type of comedian, right? Like, so I'm not like Cat Williams corny funny, because sometimes he be going into the little, you know, but then I'm not Kevin Hart, but I got a little bit of Ice Cube because I got that
Girl, shut up. You a New York mama who lives in Jersey, okay? You ain't Ice Cube, Ice T, Ice whatever.
I love Ice Cube.
You Zeta.
I love Ice Cube. Sean knows that. Sean knows I love me some Ice Cube. Yes, guys, I'm gonna do better at. Let me get this girl a hard question, y'all. Let me get up in here. Ooh, what do you want people to feel when they're around you?
What do I want people to feel when they're around me? Mm-hmm. I want just people to feel chill and know that that they can feel comfortable and safe. That I'm not out to get anyone. I'm not, you know, paying attention to what's going on in your life because I want to somehow use it against you. If I ask you certain questions, it's honestly coming from a place of like genuine concern. I'm not trying to like retain information to pull it out later and like throw it out against. I just want people to just feel that I'm just me, this is just me. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not pretending to be anybody I'm not. Like, this is just me. And if I care about you, I really do honestly care about you. And I will show you and tell you that. If you're my acquaintance, you're going to know you're just my acquaintance. But what you see is what you get. That's pretty much it.
I think you also like people to know that you are very, I think you don't understand that you nurture people. I think that you're absolutely a nurturer. And you don't see it, or you don't look at it as being nurturing, because you are naturally the friend that's like, okay, is everything okay? Like, let me make sure everyone got their bags, everything is in one place. Like, you are so that person to be like, Zeta,
That's
you are like all over the place. Sit down, hold on, this is here, let me help you organize this. So you are absolutely the person that wants to help relieve a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety from people.
that's the oldest child syndrome.
I see that, but it's so like you so do it so well because you never ever overstep. You always know how to never cross a boundary. You do it so effortlessly because think about it, you mothering women with children and they're like, but you do it in such a way of care, of like looking out, of honest, of like you said, like asking a question because I really want to help you, not because I'm trying to keep notes.
Yeah, I
So
don't want
that's
nobody to ever
definitely
feel that. I don't want nobody to ever feel that. Because I think that's like you said, like women, we get real like weird with having relationships sometimes with one another because we feel like a lot of the times you're keeping notes and like you're gonna like use it against me in an argument or maybe use it in conversation with someone else to try to get in good with that person.
yeah.
So I never want anyone to feel like that's what it is, you
Right,
know.
right, 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 right. I get it. I understand. Um, your question for me.
Which one do I want to pull out? Hold on.
This is number 6 for you.
6. How
So
many we doing?
we're doing 7, so the next question will be the last question, folks. And if any of y'all want to jump some in the comments, please do. Ooh, I just got you out of here. I didn't mean to do that.
I got one. Was
Okay.
there ever a point that you didn't want to be my friend?
You see, this bitch over here telling me about ghostwriting, and she's over here writing all these freaking hard questions. I spoke about this with you on live. There was a time where I thought I wasn't going to be your friend anymore. And for me, there was a lot of other circumstances involved, not just friendship. But I think at that point, we had started our friendship and everything was new. So everything was great. And we were getting to know each other. And I was finally like, oh my God, I'm having an adult friendship with another woman besides, Elise, who was my very close friend, and my cousin Nancy, who were the only 2 women in my life at the time that I had really been open with. So I was nervous again because as women we like to put up our walls. But I always tell you, like, there were a couple of things that you had said to me early on in our friendship that just showed me how really vested you were. But there was a time that I felt like I don't know if this friendship is moving too fast. That sounds like we were dating.
But no, I get what you're saying.
You get what I mean, right?
Because for people like us who are so very careful and like allowing people in, it could be kind of like, wait, why? Like, why? Is it because I'm being too trusting, or is it that this person is super good at being just like letting them, like being able to infiltrate? Like it's I get what you're saying. It's the anxiety and the paranoia because you've been hurt before.
Right. So for me, it was one of those things that I was like, I didn't understand. I didn't understand it because for me, a lot of my relationships were people that I've known for a very long time. And so it was a very long time before I trusted a friend, to be exact. So for me, I was like treading lightly because it was like, you never know, you think you know somebody and then 3 months into something, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that this was all of this and I couldn't see this and I couldn't see that. So I guess for me, it was just like, I really like, we laugh at the same things. We had so many things in common and it was just platonic the whole way. So I think there was a time that I kind of felt like, well, maybe I should slow it down. Not necessarily that I didn't want to stop. I wanted to stop being your friend, but I was like, maybe I'm moving too fast. Like,
and that's
you
the
can
thing,
move too
guys.
fast as a friend,
Right?
Yeah,
you can because you
Can
Yes,
you
go
give
ahead.
me an example of somebody who has moved too fast as a friend? Because I think that's super helpful for people building relationships, building friendships. What would you consider moving too fast as a for a friend?
I think if one person is giving is like if one person is the one that's really opening up their life too much to the other person, like if one friend is infiltrating the other person's life, but it's not like vice versa. If it's more
Mm-hmm.
one person just kind of ingraining themselves in the other person's life, um, I think that's moving too fast because I think people are getting to know each other. So it should be like, okay, I get to know you, you know my family, and I get to know you and your family. Now all of a sudden you come out of nowhere and it's just like you just infiltrate. Like there's no give and take. It's very one-sided. I think that's a good example of things moving too
Um,
fast.
I've also felt like in friendships, and I'll be honest, this was one of the things that I had stopped being friends with some women for is like um the neediness.
Yeah.
And I say that in a respectful way because I don't want to ever make it seem like only women are needy, because men could be needy too. And I just feel like on the woman front, like especially when you're a mother, when you have responsibilities, you have a job, you have other obligations, like the thought that this whole thing kind of revolves around you, or if you can't make a certain event, or something like that, that they hold that against you. So I experienced that a lot with a lot of my friends, because there was things that I was like, I can't do that. I can't go out to the club, I
Mm-hmm.
can't go out to the bar, and it was like, oh, they would be offended. So I dealt with that early in my 20s, and it got to the point that I was like, I was a loner. And it's the absolute worst for me, because I love to talk, I love to be in the mix, I love to have friends, I love to be like everywhere. So it was like I was just with Sean.
Girl, you know you
It
just
was
gotta
just
be
me.
just be with Sean in a few minutes, so you better tread
It
lightly
was
how you
it
say
was
that.
it was just me and Sean for the longest. He was my road dog. So that's why we get on each other's nerves now, because we've been each other's best friends forever. So, and it be like that with your husband for real. He be your best friend. You be
Yeah.
wanting to kick him one day and then you love him the next.
Yes. Yes. You look at them with these loving eyes, you be like, oh my God, don't ever leave me. And then the next be like, get the hell away from me
I
before I
don't even know
catch a
why you
case.
standing here.
Yeah, I don't even know
Facts.
you breathing too hard. Um I agree, like honestly, and I think this happens, let's be real. I think this happens in any type of relationship where whether it be friendship or romantic relationship, whenever you feel a connection with someone and it's unfamiliar, and you know, it makes you nervous. It makes you question. Cause I felt the same way. Like again, I'm used to being a leader. I'm used to being the one taking charge. So to meet another woman who was just as assertive as me, like we're similar in a lot of ways, but different in a lot of ways. It was like, wow, this is real cool. She looks like me. She sounds like me. Um, it was very cool, but at the same time, the my past experiences made me be like, in this stage of my life, do I really want to make any new friendships?
Yep, it's scary.
Um, because like I tell you guys all the time, I learned a lot in my 20s and I had a lot of bad experiences with people that I thought were super close that I've invited literally to be in my home with me and my child, and they stabbed me in the back. And so it was just me and my best friend rocking it out. And then now in my mid 30s, am I really gonna do that now? Am I gonna invite someone in? But
Mhm.
everything happens for a reason. And I tell
Right.
Zeta this all the time. I think that if Zeta and I met while I was in my 20s, we wouldn't be friends. And the reason
Mhm.
I say that is because we are so much alike, but we're so different. And we both weren't ready. We both were we weren't we wouldn't have been ready um to have the type of friendship that we have, because that's the only way two strong ass women can have a friendship, is if there's complete honesty and you're able to have those tough conversations, because conflict, especially with our personalities, are always going to arise. So if we didn't have the maturity to be able to have these conversations, then we would have been just fighting and just not speaking to each other and just never been friends. it would have been it wouldn't have worked. But I think we have a maturity now.
I definitely think we are mature. If you can describe your way in a friendship in 3 words, what would it be? Like
What do
your
you,
ways, like the type of person you are in a friendship, like your bad attributes in a friendship.
my bad
3.
attributes? Oh, 3. Okay, my bad attributes. Um, I sometimes worry too much. In the sense that I may want to control certain things sometimes because I don't want my friends to get hurt, or maybe I see them getting hurt, or I think somebody's going to hurt them or put them in a bad light. So, um, I want to control the situation. Like and I don't realize that by doing that, I'm pretty much sometimes making the impression that my friend doesn't know what they're doing. They might take it like I think they don't know, they don't have the capability of handling situations. Um, 3. Oh gosh. I know
So you're on 2.
worrying is a big one. The second one I would say is sometimes I could get too emotionally involved. Um, 3, sometimes I don't know how to let things go. In the sense that if I feel like I'm right about something, even if I may be quiet about it for a little bit, I will be very persistent and bring that shit up again in a different type of way.
My headphones is dropping here. Yes. Okay.
Um.
I think that was 3.
Oh, okay, 3. I think that's it. I would hope. I mean, everybody's could be annoying. Like everyone can have the capability of being annoying to the people that they're friends with or in relationships with, or even family that you're close with, because sometimes we could be a lot. Every personality has the ability to be too much sometimes if it's not in small doses.
So yes, you are a very strong opinionated friend. And a lot of times it can drive people absolutely crazy. It can drive me crazy because she is so opinionated when you don't want her to be opinionated. You're like, listen, I did this and this and this and this and this and this. But wait, go back. What did you say in sentence 2? I did this and blah blah. I don't think you should have done that because
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
It's done, Jazz. I already did it. I'm sorry, but this is what I just felt. Okay.
That's true. I do that. I'm working on that. Like sometimes I just gotta need to know when my opinion is not needed. The action is already done, and I could just be causing more anxiety to my friend than actually helping them. So I'm actually trying to work on that.
But I think it's done in such a tactful way, never disrespectful, always being respectful, never crossing boundaries, but
annoying as fuck though.
It is.
Go ahead, say it. You want to? Annoying as shit. I'm working on it.
Annoying as shit. But it's met with all love, guys. It's met with all love. Let me tell you what my 3 annoying things about myself are as a friend. I am so not patient.
Not patient at all.
I have not an ounce of patience in my body. I am from New York. I want everything fast. I want everything now. I want everything correct. And I want you to do it lovingly. That's why I'm not patient.
And she wants you to do it like you mean it, even though she's pissed off.
Do it like you mean it and do it like you want. So I am so not patient. It is something that I am working on. They joke around with me daily and say that I am Carl Winslow saying 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, because I need to work on patience. So I am definitely not a patient friend, which leads to my attitude can almost then super exceed because I'm frustrated and I can't hide my face and I can't hide my emotions. So naturally my frustration is going to come out and I'm going to be sarcastic as shit. So sarcasm is my next problemo. I am absolutely sarcastic. I will say something to you sarcastically so that you know that I know that you annoying.
Because we didn't get it from the emotions and the facial expression. So just in case you didn't pick it up, she's gonna hit you with the sarcasm to make sure.
Just to kind of seal the deal, and you're gonna get it, and then you're gonna be like, all right, I ain't fucking with this bitch. She needs a moment. So patience, sarcasm, and I am a fast talker. I can be very overbearing. So those are my three. I have laid them here on That's Dope. Those are my problems. Those is what I'm working on. I definitely want to be a better friend. That is my goal. So I'm working on those three.
I think you picked three good ones. Because no, it's just like everything is such a part of her that it's just like she doesn't hide it. Like I told you, you know where you stand with Zeta, just like you know what you get with Zeta. And those three things is just it is what it is. The fast talker too with her is just sometimes you have to be like, but wait,
Yeah.
but wait, slow down, because she doesn't realize sometimes how quickly she's talking. She doesn't hear what you're saying sometimes. So you can't be afraid to be like, but wait.
Go back, bitch.
Go back, but wait. But yeah, she's definitely been working on them. I've seen an improvement, just like with all of us with the things we struggle with the most is day by day. But you can't fix something you're not, you don't acknowledge, and she acknowledges it all the time. So
I think what was also dope was when you started kind of realizing some of the characteristics that Haley had, and you started saying like, Zeta, I think because I think a lot of also being a better friend is knowing your ups and downs, knowing what you're good at, what you're bad at, and knowing what also brings you to that moment of frustration.
Yes.
Because that's the only way that you're gonna truly work on a friendship and try to resolve the issues. Is you have to figure out the behavior that's bringing you to that point. What is this person doing that's making me angry or make me feel uncomfortable and making me feel frustrated? Before, I never cared to even think about those emotions because I was just acting on the energy that I was getting from a certain individual. Like if I'm giving you a look like I need space and you're not understanding that, now I'm going to be like, hey, I need space, or whatever the issue may be. So I feel like I have now embarked on a journey where I am now understanding, okay, I need to find out what pisses me off or what kind of gets me to that moment so that I can 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
You also have to get to a point with yourself too, like when you're in a friendship, that you have to be okay with hearing that from the other person. Like
Right.
if you want the other person to be able to listen to you when you say, yo, you pissed me off when you did that, then you have to also be okay when that person then says, okay, but you do this and that pissed me off. It has to go both ways, because
And it's hard.
And it's hard because, everybody thinks they're perfect and everybody likes to think of themselves as the one that was wronged. But most of the time is, two people are adding to the situation and wrong when conflict arises in some way. So just like it's a big deal that you have a friend that's able to come to you and say, listen, I'm sorry I did this. You also have to be able to come back and say, okay, I'm sorry I did this. And you also have to be okay when the person says, and you pissed me off because you did that.
Right.
That shit is hard.
It's a hard pill to swallow. And a lot of times with friends, I think a lot of people don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's completely necessary to get closer. Because think about it. If you don't have those conversations and you don't really say what's on your mind, you're never going to feel really connected to that person. There's always going to be a barrier up. There's always going to be something that you feel like you don't want to say or you don't want to do because you don't want to overstep. So if you kind of throw everything on the table at once, if you say, listen, I know I may have jumped the gun today. I may have, said something inappropriate, or I apologize for that. This is the emotion that I was feeling, or this is what got me to that point. That I think has been so helpful for me, because I really need to understand, well, why am I getting frustrated? Why am I feeling overwhelmed or anxious? What are making me, what are those feelings being brought up by? Is it this? Is it that? So I was able to really walk through those emotions a lot of times in our friendship. and let you know, like, hey, Jazz, like, this is what got me there. And you were the first person to not like to be like, well, listen, yeah, I agree, I can do that. Because again, it's accountability both ways. Like, you know, you can't be a friend that sees no fault in yourself
In
or is
any
always constant.
relationship.
Yeah, but or constantly making excuses for your behavior. You can't do that, because like I said, it's not, you're not going to build a friendship. You have to be transparent.
Yeah, taking accountability just in general, and something that everyone should practice in their life, whether it be romantic, family relationships, friendships, work relationships. Like, people respect you more and take you more seriously when they know that you're able to be like, yo, my bad, I messed up. Like, instead of making excuses. And I'm not trying to say not to defend yourself when you feel that you've been wronged, or maybe, so, they're saying you did something you didn't do, or you didn't feel you do it. But if you know that you are capable of doing that, or you did it, just own up to it. Like that. So it just, you just gain the trust of the other person so much more, because you've accepted that you may have done something wrong.
Yeah, I definitely think it does build character. It builds friendship. It helps. But again, both people have to be receptive to what it is that's going on. And both people have to take accountability for their actions. And I know that's something that we hear often, and it's like, what is that? It's just acknowledging basically that you yourself are not perfect. You yourself can be maybe aiding in that person's frustration, or vice versa. So, like I said, in relationships, when two people are fighting, or friendships, two people are fighting, there are things being thrown both sides. Even if it's like you stated before, if it's something very passive aggressive, or maybe it's a sarcastic comment, whatever it is. And
at the end of the day, honesty. Just be honest.
Yeah, I agree. So was that your last question?
I guess so. I think we just both answered the last question.
All right. Jazz.
Yes. So Data.
We're going to end it with one last question.
Okay.
For both of us. Where do you see mamas?
Oh.
When? 1 year from now. 1 year from now.
Oof, where do I see mamas from the end?
Because we are almost embarking on our 1 year journey. Mamas will be officially 1 year old October 1st. So what do you feel? We're embarking on our 12-month anniversary. What do you feel like mamas will be 1 year from now?
I think mamas will definitely be known on a broader scale. I think we will have more momentum. I think we will most likely have gotten some ventures that will probably bring us to a broader audience. I think that we, as the women in the group, are going to continue to just kind of really figure out what it is that we want to do and how to use this platform. I just kind of see us kind of filling out more, in the sense of really like honing in on what it is exactly we want to do with this network, and just really making sure that we reach the people that we really want to intend to reach, and just really making a name for ourselves. So I just see us just moving. I know we're just going to be moving, and with whatever that entails. Yeah,
I agree.
What about you, Z? Our fearless mama leader.
I am the dreamer in this group, and a lot of times I come to these girls with dreams that they're like, "Girl, sit your ass down."
I'll be like, "Hold on, let me put it in the book."
But I see mamas in 1 more year being seeing growth, being a safe place for women, being a place where men and women can come together, because I am really an advocate for both men and women, because I think it's important that we start, like we say all the time, building relationships, having tough conversations. So I think Mama's Cocktail Hour is a amazing network filled with culture, zazz, realness,
New Yorkness.
rawness, New Yorkness. Mama's Cocktail Hour is all of that in one. Like, you're not just gonna get one flavor here, you're gonna get different flavors. You never know who's gonna be a guest. We never judge. We allow people to come on here and speak their truth, regardless of some guests who we may not agree with what they're saying. She rolling her eyes, or we may not really fully understand, but we think it's important for us to have these conversations and allow other people to come on and give their opinion if we agree or we don't agree. So I think Mamas is going to be like we've been manifesting these last couple of weeks, is a network where women can come, men can come, have conversations, and it's definitely just going to grow and be more amazing with time.
It's all about empowering ourselves to be a better version of whatever it is we thought we could even be. And we really believe that everything that we do, everything that we speak about, as you can see, we're learning in real time. It's happening in real time. We talk about these topics because we're figuring it out as we go along. And it's important to us. And we've seen the drastic changes in our lives that have occurred because we've been trying to be more aware of feelings and emotions and boundaries and things that really can improve the quality of loving yourself. So everything you get here is real and is authentic. We don't pretend to be anybody who we're not. We're just us. What you see here is what you get when we're off camera.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that, I am ending That's Dope tonight, guys. Jasmine, thank you for coming on and being my special guest on That's Dope, girl. I wanted really people to get an insight into who I am, into who you are. So I had an amazing conversation. Don't forget, guys, to click the notification button so that you guys can be alerted when we have a next video. We are currently going YouTube live right now as we are in IG jail.
Because we locked up. They still ain't let us out.
But we so love coming on YouTube, and we're definitely trying to build our followers up here. Yes. So if you guys haven't followed, please do so. You can also follow us at Mama's Cocktail or Mama's CH Network on IG. And you can follow Jasmine at Jazz Speaks Life on IG. And you can follow me at Zeta_Lisa_ on IG. And until the next video, guys, we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.